Blacktips are incredibly shy, and I, again, have seen them maybe just a handful of times, and it's always swimming away. They're a really shy species that sometimes you'll see in the shallows. This guy you'll never see around the islands themselves. It's found out in open ocean. Photograph this one off the Big Island. You sometimes see them out at the aggregate fishing buoys, and you know it's an oceanic whitetip because from a mile away you see them swimming directly at you, and they swim right up to your face. And they sometimes follow pilot whales, as you see that guy there. Beside this shark, the two fish are rainbow runners. It's a silky shark, again, open ocean. I don't see them around the islands very often. And the rainbow runners swim up against the shark and rub from tail to head to clean parasites off them. Hammerhead shark, this one was photographed off Molokai. There's a rock off the end of it called Moku Ho'oniki that I've seen schools of hundreds of them up there. Really fascinating animal. Tiger sharks, these occur in Hawaii. But again, a very cautious shark. It's very rare to see one underwater. These guys are off the north shore of Oahu, and they're in a feeding situation. Otherwise, again, it's not too often that you see Galapagos sharks. There's several companies over there that will take snorkelers out in cages to have a look at them, and the cages are for the divers and snorkelers and the sharks to feel comfortable. You can get out of the cage. They have no interest in biting people at all. White sharks, there was one seen by a fisherman last month, or maybe 2 months ago in Hawaii. They come through Hawaii, but incredibly rare to ever see those. More common, still rare, to see a whale shark. This is the largest fish on the planet. They can reach 60 feet in length, and again, these are filter feeders. They're completely harmless. That's the front end of a whale shark. That's where the plankton goes. Marine mammals, all sorts of those in Hawaii. This is the most common dolphin species you're likely to see inshore. And spinner dolphin are so named because they'll leap out of the water spinning at the same time. And this one, you can see there's a circular shape sort of cut out of it. That they go offshore and feed at night, and there's a shark called a cookie cutter shark that takes that disc out of them. So life as a dolphin isn't always easy. The other more common species to see from a boat, bottlenose dolphin, are here in Hawaii. Less common than the bottlenose, and really because they don't come in close to the islands, are Pacific spotted dolphins. These guys form huge schools offshore, hundreds and hundreds of animals, and are just really spectacular creatures if you ever run into them. And I think tomorrow night we're going to hear more about our celebrated whale. These guys are visitors to our state, the humpbacks. Tomorrow you're going to hear from Douglas Hoffman, who's going to spend his time telling you all about these guys. Again, these are filter feeders, although they don't feed while they're here. This one is showing off his baleen anyway. Those are the baleen plates in its mouth. And if you have not been out on a whale watch yet, you are missing out. They are thick right now, and so I would rush right out in the morning tomorrow. Get yourself a ticket and hop on. This is the back end of one of Pacific Whale Foundation's boats. There are actually more whales here than just humpbacks. Humpbacks are visitors. Pilot whales are found year-round in the state. They have kind of a blunt front end on their heads. Similar looking whale, although it lacks that really blunt front end, are these guys, false killer whales. And these guys, not common, but you'll sometimes see them come between Maui and Lanai and cruise up through Molokai and go back out. But they're generally found in open ocean, as is this species, pygmy killer whales. And these are much smaller whales than the humpbacks. A pygmy killer could be 8-9 feet in length. On the other hand, these are big whales. This was photographed off Kona. And year-round, there's sperm whales outside the state. But again, very uncommon to run into them. And year-round orcas have been seen in Hawaii. This is obviously not Hawaii. I have never seen an orca in Hawaii, but I have friends that have, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Maybe one day we'll run into them. All the images that you saw tonight were all shot with a digital camera in a housing with 2 big, large strobes. Myself and another photographer friend of mine, Marty Snyderman, are working on apps for iPads and iPhones. And so if you go to iTunes, you can download. Our first one is up, and we've got 4 more on the way. So if you want to know more about how to take pictures underwater, look for me on iTunes. And thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. It's a good crowd.